if we're going to do this, let's do it right. We've heard about green buildings, and we've heard about sustainable. To me, sustainable energy projects would be like talking to Greg about no child left behind. He doesn't know anything about that. I had no clue what sustainable engineering projects were. Couldn't tell you anything about it, never done one. But when we started to talk again about the safety for the students and the staff, if nothing else, in just the air they breathe, my board bought into, yeah, this is important. This is a selling point. This is something we can give back to the community. And part of that was, all right, so we're going to give it a shot at LEED. We just want the plaque on the wall. Well, I think right now we're shooting for a plaque on the wall that says gold. We talked about geothermal. And in the first referendum that we lost, we didn't put it in there. It was going to be a 22-year payback at that time, and you all know that, how much that's come around. And our board said that isn't worth the extra $550,000. When we came to this project, it came to the point it said your turnaround is 7.5 years. And it should cost you $330,000. Came in at $305, I think. Well, you know what? Now it's worth it. And you know what the taxpayers liked the most? We handed them back $300,000 last year off their taxes because it came in that well. We think we can do the same thing this year again. But then they're going to get sticker shock next year when it's not there. Our teachers took a tour one day. And they took the tour with Teresa and with some other people, but she led the tour. And the tour was, you need to know what's green about the building you're going to work in. What's the good thing about this building? What's the air quality going to be like? How are we heating this? They're standing in the geothermal room. And you know what? I knew nothing about geothermal. I'm certainly not an expert now, but I know a lot more. My teachers know a lot more. And I'll be honest with you, the kids know more than we do. But we got all that because Teresa walked these people around. She stopped in places. She told them about it. You know what the teachers did? They put Post-it notes up then in each one of those spots. So when they gave tours, they could point right to them just like she did. Our energy efficient improvements, we believe, will get us at least $47,000 a year in energy costs. And we have a $47,000 grant coming back from Focus on Energy, and we're going to buy playground equipment with that $47,000. Water efficiency, you could not have been in a more inefficient building than we were in before. And it's really unbelievable that in the first month it was open, our water and sewer bill went down in half, just on this building. Now, we can't tell about electricity yet because the old gym's still open, and we have no clue, other than we know that that's the worst energy efficient building we have in the district, probably in town. And a little story about indoor air quality. This gentleman on the bottom, his name is Jim Martin. And our principal, we hired a principal this year at the middle school. You want to talk about a great thing. You're going to come in as a brand new principal of a building that's under construction, and 5 days into the job finds out that her husband has cancer. And he's not going to make it. He had esophageal cancer. So we forced her to go on a leave because she didn't want to go. And we asked Jim to come down from Watertown and be our middle school principal through that process. Jim's worked in Watertown for 35 years. He was their HR person. He's been in every building in Watertown. He worked for 4 weeks for us in Lake Mills in the new building. This is a good story. He said to me when he left, Dean, I want you to know, I never walked into a building in Watertown without my sinuses filling up. I've worked here 4 weeks. My sinuses have never filled up from the air quality of this building. Chris Page, our technology teacher, worked in the old building. He worked in the basement of the old gym as a tech ed teacher. He was up to taking 2 to 4 Zantac every day for his allergies. 3 days after moving into the new building, has not taken 1 since. My son, in 8th grade, has some of the worst allergies of any kid that you'll ever see. Has not had 1 sneeze this spring because of the air quality of that building. It's unbelievable, but they're good stories. We tell them a lot so people hear them. We had an energy fair in town. It was going to be run by the Light and Power. So they asked if they could have it in our new gym because they wanted to tie it together. So the kids took it on as kind of a project. Each one of their advisories took 1 piece of the LEAP thing and made posters on it and made brochures on it. And then during that time, they gave tours. And you see a copy of their tour. I mean, they wrote it. They got together and wrote this dialogue, and they've memorized it. Because again, my son happens to be one of the tour guides. As I was telling Greg, he went Friday and gave tours during school, which is always cool because they get out of class. But he asked to go back on Saturday and give more. There were 2 older gentlemen who work at St. Vinny's who came in. Never been there. They had a booth for the energy fair from St. Vinny's. Recycle, reuse, redo. He said, well, we'd kind of like a tour. I said, my son will be very happy to give you a tour. Those guys were so grateful. They sent him a card and thanked him for his time. Our buy-in has been because of the way you treated us and the things that you were able to do for us and your education of us. And I can't ever say how much Miron did for our kids, because I can't put a value on that.